Hey, I'm Thiago. I am 25 years old from Ottawa, Canada, and I am rebuilt.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of I Am Rebuilt. As always, I'm your host and head coach here at Rebuilt Recovery, Frank Rich, and we have an incredible story today. What an absolutely inspiring journey this young man has been on. You know, one of the things when I got into this coaching that I didn't realize was going to happen was the life transformation of the men that I get to work with. You know, obviously I knew going into this style of coaching that these guys were coming with a clear problem that was holding them back in life, and I knew I had the solution. I knew that if they stuck to the course, if they stuck to the program, if they showed up on a weekly basis, that in just a matter of a few weeks and maybe a few months, we clearly helped them get this out of their life. But I've really been blown away, not just at the ability to remove the main problem, but really what's happened in both the men and in the men's lives in a short matter of time. So who we have here today with us is a very close friend of mine now. Like every single person that I get to work with, we start off as a coach slash mentee, coach slash student. The relationship grows over the course of a couple weeks and months, and it's always a sad day when we get to this point. You know, we're here at the end of 16 weeks, and we're going to be parting ways, but not leaving each other's lives. You know, like I say all the time, is building a family. We're building a family of men, and I'm incredibly excited to have this young man by my side and as a part of our community. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce Thiago. Thiago, welcome to the I Am Rebuilt series here, brother.
Thank you very much. I'm honored.
Yeah, man, I'm really blown away with what's happened in your life. I mean, when you came here, you know, you had quite a bit going on. You know, planning a wedding. You know, deep into med school. But what's transpired in over just a few months in your life has been really remarkable. You've opened up some new opportunities. You've created some new income streams. You've are now approaching this wedding date coming up in just a few short days here, and you've continued to excel in all of your schooling while working through this major issue. So you truly are a shining example of anything is possible. Like we are the limiting factor in our own lives. So Chago, if you can, we're starting out. You know, why don't you tell the audience here listening and watching, where were you at kind of in your life? You know, what were you struggling with? What things perhaps have you maybe tried previously to get this issue, to get this problem out of your life? And yeah, just kind of where were you, you know, just going back a few short months ago.
Yeah, I was at a point where back in I think 2019 was when I was able to kind of go sober from my lust from pornography for a whole year, but I just kind of suppressed that desire,
Mm.
and eventually it burst during exams during a stressful season, and I was dating who is my now fiance, and I felt super guilty for watching porn, and I did it a couple times, and then we got engaged, and I decided like I can't continue like this. I can't hide this from her. This is not how we should start our marriage. And so I opened up to her, which obviously made her very sad, and she didn't expect it. And because I wanted to do everything that I could to completely eliminate this, I decided to put money where my mouth was, and I looked for a coach, and I came and I found you, right? And I was at a very desperate point where it wasn't just porn, wasn't just this side thing, this side addiction that I was doing, but it was consuming me from the inside, and it actually ended up damaging or slightly damaging the relationship I have with my fiance. And that is something I've always wanted to prevent. I always wanted to deal with porn before I even got to that point. So I'm thankful that it didn't happen during marriage. It happened before, and that my fiance is very understanding. But since then, since these past 16 weeks, there's been a tremendous change, a tremendous growth. that both you and I have experienced.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing you said there right at the beginning, like you had worked through a little bit. You had gone a year before, just kind of white knuckling it, just kind of fighting through it. But one thing that I say, and anybody that's watched any of our videos or listened to anything we've ever shared in terms of how does this process work? How do you ultimately create a porn-free life? And it comes down to becoming the man that is no longer addicted to porn. There needs to be a change from the inside of who you are and to be who you're trying to become. So, you had said there that you were ready to kind of put some money where your mouth was. And, at that time of getting going and getting involved, were there any hesitations, from you, whether it was like, is this really worth it? Is this gonna work? Or yeah, was there any kind of internal resistance, even knowing that you were ready to kind of get the ball rolling?
I'm not sure if there were. I mean, there's obviously that doubt, like, I haven't been able to stop before. Like I was able to go on a year-long break and deal with it, but like, will I actually be able to solve the problem this time? So there is that doubt. But I saw your videos, I saw some testimonials, and I figured like if somebody could help me, like Frank's the guy to do it. And I saw everything that you run us through in the course, and it aligned perfectly with who I am and what my values were. And so it was a no-brainer to be coached by you. And I definitely don't regret it.
I really appreciate that. Can you maybe walk the listeners and viewers through, some of what your experience was like? You talked about, running you through, through the program, so without maybe going into specifics of some of the things that we did,
Yeah.
just what was your experience like working together? How did I, if any way, make this process easier for you? As far as providing direction, accountability, et cetera, et cetera.
I think on a relationship level, you provide as much support as I really needed. You asked if I have any questions and answered all of them. And the instructions were very clear. Like you could just read it, follow it, and there I didn't really need any clarifications. And I think for implementation and execution, clarity is like very valuable. So nobody would ever really struggle with, what should I be doing here? It's very clear. Step one, step two, step three. And so I appreciated that. And the reflection that we go through just to get to know who we are, kind of our struggles or pains or visions, like all of that is really valuable as well to really understand what the underlying issues are. And some of the practical exercise, such as like fasting and exercise, those things that really kind of opened up a new set of tools in my toolbox that I feel really created this sense of like flexibility in my life when I am tempted about anything, not just porn, but any other desire that I feel that pull. Because I've gone through these exercises, because we've talked about it, I feel much more prepared to deal with them now. And it's not really, I don't even get to that point of resistance. It's more so I stop before it becomes a temptation.
Like that self-awareness is there and you just like, boom, it kind of alerts you and you're like, okay, there's no need for me to stress, worry about this. I've identified this and I know exactly because I got this toolbox here. You pull this tool out and allow me to kind of process and work through this. That's amazing. So, one of the favorite parts, for me of working together is just witnessing your growth. I kind of mentioned a little bit here at the beginning, med school student, engaged, working towards, getting the wedding put together while, still navigating through, a quarantine. We were just discussing this, before we hit record here. You're living in a country that's still kind of, dealing with some issues with the lockdowns. And I'm going to brag a little bit about you here because with all that going on, over the course of our 16 weeks, not only did you commit to this program, but you sought out more responsibility. You joined another coaching program. You hired a business coach. You started a business while being a med school student, while going through exams, while getting a wedding together, while trying to remove pornography out of your life. How did you do that? And what do you think you learned about yourself over the course of this program?
And when you put it like that, Sounds very crazy of myself. But I definitely would not have been able to do it without your guidance and your push and belief in me, right? I think it came down to really understanding that we have, like, if you're focused and you start to implement the high performance strategies of just having your morning routine, scheduling your day, having your evening routine, once those things are in line and you cut out all the distractions, everything that's not necessary to get you to your goals, then everybody has time to achieve their goals. And we discussed this and you said, like, go for it, right? I started off with offering a free 20-minute call to friends on how to boost their productivity. And then it went from this free thing to like, yo, this is like a legit business idea. And so then I started looking into that. And then within literally 2, 3 weeks, I enrolled 2 students and I was already making a couple $1,000s. And it went from this exercise of serving others to becoming a business to now serve others and earn money from it. And it just forced me to really be serious about how I allocate my time, right? Because like you said, it was during exam season, so I honestly have no clue how I was able to manage that. Definitely balancing things out, but focusing on having my scheduled day, and then making sure that I also kept accountability. Right, we kept checking in with each other, and you made sure that I accomplished my goals that I told you I would.
Yeah, I actually forgot that this whole business came out of like our week 7 assignments. So real quick, one of the things that we do in month 2 is there's some service stuff, and it involves just getting out there and serving other people. And Thiago came and he said, "Hey, for this project, is it okay if I offer free coaching calls?" So Thiago has a podcast. He's been putting high performance content out there to help other students maximize their schedules and maximize their time. So he's leveraging something he was already doing and saw an opportunity in the program. And just in following the course of what we were doing, he saw a bigger opportunity to serve the world at an even greater degree than he already is. And you heard the success here. It's already generated a couple $1,000s for him, and it's just the beginning. It's a part-time thing that he's doing. Obviously, his main thing is med school, but we're all really excited to kind of see where this goes for him. So, with this, we've gone through this program. We're free now, like really experiencing what freedom feels like. You're getting ready to
Mhm.
get married. You're getting ready to kind of step into the next phase of med school for you, and you got a business. So with all that in mind, what are you most excited about right now as you begin your new life 100% free of pornography?
Oh man, that's a hard question because there's so many things going on. Um, I think at the top of the list, I'm just excited to get married, and
Mm.
because that's obviously something I've always looked forward to as a kid, getting married, and also the fact that I have an open relationship, not an open, but a transparent relationship with my fiance and future wife, that I was able to share with her my struggle with porn, right? And she's been following my journey with this, and she sees the changes and the freedom that I have and the mental clarity. So I'm excited to start off our marriage on the right foot and in such a way that we can discuss these things and help each other grow in our goals. And after that, I'm super pumped for this course. Like, it's starting off slow and it's hard to kind of get traction with all the things that I have to do with school and marriage and the honeymoon. But I'm so excited for future students, and just the growth that I can experience too, because it's always been a dream of mine to have an online business. And it's so much better that it's on my terms, it's off skills that I have, and that I can use my personal experience to help students grow. So, and then the third would be going into clerkship and being able to live out that other part of my dream of becoming a doctor, right? I'm not going to be a full doctor, but I'm going to be on the wards in the hospital serving patients. So in the past 16 weeks, really what this transformation has done is allowed me to reach my dream on 3 different levels. One, of having a deeper, richer marriage. Two, of building my own online business that is fulfilling and helps other people. And also having a clear mind and a sense of uh, responsibility to be able to serve my patients better in the near future.
Come on now, guys. If that doesn't motivate and fire everybody up, that you're meant for more in your life. I don't care what you're doing right now. There's more inside of you. There's more that you can offer to the world. I mean, Thiago's challenging me to step up my game. So, brother, that's absolutely amazing. There's going to be a lot of guys that see this. Maybe some of them our Thiago of a year ago. The 2019 version.
Yeah.
Maybe they've tried this themselves. Maybe they had a little bit of success. They did a 30-day nofap. They did the 90-day, but then because they didn't do the proper work, they didn't change who they were becoming on the inside. They immediately slipped and fell back. Maybe they're even questioning like, should I even try? I see so many people fail. I feel like porn's just got its hands literally wrapped around my throat and it's literally just strangling me. So there's a lot of guys that are maybe perhaps questioning does this program even work? Like, see Frank all over the place. He's throwing videos, up on the internet. His podcast is crushing it. But like maybe he's just a savvy marketer. Maybe he just understands how to put good advertisement out there. So what do you say to the guy that maybe is questioning, like they're on the fence about joining, or maybe they're on the fence about even like them own selves? Like just speak to him if you can't permit it. Maybe it's you of, like I said, 2019, or just the guy that's unsure of like, should I actually attempt to get this out of my life? What do you say to that guy?
Yeah, I would enter this conversation with the assumption that the person who's listening probably knows what they should be doing, probably knows the information. Like, lack of information is not the problem, it's the implementation of it. And to any person with different levels of success, you're going to keep falling back to your starting level if you don't take this more seriously, but also implement the right heart change
Mm.
and the boundaries that you're needed to succeed. And I was at that point, obviously, and I experienced success for a short time, where actually what felt like a very long time, like a year's a long time, but still fell back when I became really stressed, and it caused pain in my relationship. Um, and so I would say that if you're on the edge about who Frank is, or if a course can help you, I would say do it, because the best way to get results is from people who have gotten results for themselves
Mm.
and others, right? Like when you're working with somebody like Frank, you're not just working with one person, you're also working with all the experience he's gained from coaching dozens and dozens of clients that have gone through the same obstacles. Um, and so it's extremely valuable to have that mentor, to have that accountability partner as well, right? Where you can go to Frank and be like, "Hey man, I messed up. How can I fix that next time?" And that transparency is extremely important. And I think that is the number one factor of a coaching program like this, is the fact that you talk to a real human being. You're not just reading information, but you're talking with somebody, you have the relationship, and you're being challenged. You're challenging each other and growing. And so definitely don't count it out. And I would say trust yourself, right? Maybe your self-esteem is low because you've not been able to kind of quit porn, but trust that your future self will be able to kind of hold up to your new standards, and that with the help of a smart mentor who's able to hold your hand through this and coach you, you're going to become your ideal self by the end of the program, or at least a couple steps closer. Like we've been talking about, I'm in medical school, getting married, being able to start a program. If you were to say to Thiago 4 months ago, like, hey, by the end of this program, you're going to launch your own course, I probably wouldn't have believed you. But as long as you keep challenging yourself and believing in the progress, then you can definitely do things that you never imagined.
Absolutely, brother. And I appreciate that so much. And if I would add anything to what Thiago said, he said trust your future self. But your future self needs to trust you now. Your future self needs to count on the current version of yourself. And that future
Yeah.
self only comes by taking action. And joining a program like this is going to give you some of the tactics. I mean, the tactics are out there. Like you said, information is, there's no longer a limits of information. You could search a YouTube channel, all the tactics, everything I've done in the program, I've put on the information. When you hire a coach, when you join the program, you're getting those tactics built into an actual program that you can execute upon. But then you're getting the speed, you're getting the feedback, like you said, have coached, personally over 50 guys at this point. But then you're getting the accountability, and I think one thing that Thiago and I were talking about here beforehand a lot is he knew every single Monday showing up for our calls. Like I got to stay the course Tuesday through Sunday because I can't let Frank down. And I think more importantly than anything, when you join a program, when you get a coach, you're getting somebody else in your corner that's 100% invested into your success. So I hope this story today here inspired you. Maybe it challenged you a little bit to take some action in your life. But if you guys are interested in learning more about the program, I want you to click the link down there below, fill out the application, schedule a call, and let's talk about what our Reboot Your Life program would look like for you. I want to make this as individualized, as specific for your situation, for your life. So schedule a call, fill the application out. The link is down there below in the description box. But Thiago, brother, I love you, man. So excited for this next chapter, next phase of your life. Thank you for being a part of Rebuilt Recovery. Thank you for being a part of the I Am Rebuilt series.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for all your help.
All right, guys, we love you, and we'll see you next time.